Welcome back, wrestling fans. Today, we're taking a critical look at one of the most polarizing figures in wrestling history, Bill Goldberg. While many regard him as a legend, some argue he belongs in the Hall of Shame.
He should be in the Hall of Shame.
Let's break down why that might be the case. Goldberg debuted in WWE as a powerhouse, known for his unbeatable persona and electrifying presence. However, a closer inspection reveals a different story. His matches often lasted only about 2 minutes, primarily featuring just 2 moves, the spear and the jackhammer. Triple H even poked fun at him during a training session at the Performance Center, highlighting his limited skills.
If your biggest idol in this business is a guy that's been in the business for about a year, got everything handed to him, can't have a match longer than 4 minutes, has not wrestled probably for more than 3 months straight, and he has to take time off, then I wonder where does that mentally put that person?
Then there's that famous winning streak of 173-0 in WCW. Many wrestlers have challenged the legitimacy of those numbers, suggesting that the schedule didn't support such a feat. This brings into question how much of Goldberg's success was due to talent versus marketing hype.
I finally get the truth about Goldberg's streak.
I don't know what the number is, but it was definitely padded because we didn't work that many.
Goldberg's limitations became painfully clear in his match against William Regal, where they were supposed to have a competitive 6-minute bout. Unfortunately, Goldberg botched several spots, leaving fans wondering if he was truly ready for the big leagues.
And have a 6-minute match. Bill had never done anything more than a 90-second match. And the words were, and we both heard it, have a competitive match. Bill doesn't really, he freezes up, he doesn't know it. So I'm just working around him, and that's all.
You're doing your thing.
If I'm telling you, I'm trying to get him to do stuff, and I'm working around him.
This pattern of short matches seems to stem from a fear of exposing his lack of technical wrestling ability. Perhaps the most notorious moment in Goldberg's career was his match against Bret Hart at Starrcade in 1999. A kick from Goldberg caused Hart to suffer a serious concussion, which ultimately led to his premature retirement. Hart has been vocal about his disappointment in Goldberg, labeling him as unprofessional.
Bill Goldberg, who kicked me in the head, never even thought about it, 8 months later, went over to Saudi Arabia, got paid $3 million for a 5 minutes wrestling match, and put all that money in his pocket, but never once thought about costing me $16 million when he kicked me in the head. And so, you know, I regret that I got injured by a guy that couldn't wrestle and has no business of being in a Hall of Fame. You know, he should be in the Hall of Shame.
When Goldberg was asked about Hart's criticisms, he downplayed the incident, claiming it was an honest mistake.
You know, the fact is it was a mistake. I was extremely green in the business, and anybody who knows me knows that if I didn't intend to hurt him, then it was an accident.
This conversation about safety and skill is critical in wrestling. While John Cena has faced similar criticisms early in his career, he took them to heart and worked hard to evolve his in-ring abilities, like performing a springboard stunner and sunset flip powerbomb. On the flip side, Goldberg seems resistant to criticism, often responding defensively rather than seeking improvement. So, what do you think? Are the criticisms of Goldberg justified? Is he really as limited and unsafe as some wrestlers suggest? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep that wrestling spirit alive.